Shalom, shalom, family. I just wanted to make a video today. Really, I guess I'm just wanting to vent a little bit. Today was one of those days. It was a rough day. Nothing was going the way that I planned it for it to go today. Homeschool didn't run as smoothly as I would like for it to run. It was just one of them days, man. It was really one of those days that it was just very difficult for me to get the things done. From waking up this morning a little bit late, just getting the day started late. The kids' behavior during homeschool today just wasn't on point. It's just one of those days, it was one of them days that things did not go the way that I had planned it to go, the way that things should have went. It was just a little bit frustrating for me. The kids were all over the place and things just weren't happening the way they needed to go. So I'm a little bit frustrated. I'm a lot frustrated. It's just frustrating when you're trying to get things done and everything's going wrong. Everybody's acting a fool. Don't nobody want to do what they're supposed to get done. It's just frustrating for me. And I'm making this video basically because, these days happen. Unfortunately, these days happen where you have things that didn't go smooth, as smooth as you would want them to. You have children that are doing their best to get under your skin, just doing things that they shouldn't be doing. They're a little bit too hyper, a little bit too moving. They can't sit still. They can't focus. They can't concentrate. And my children are 2, 4. They're the children that I homeschool are. I have a baby, but I'm not really technically homeschooling him right now. But anyway, he's 8 months, 7 months, 8 months. I have a 2-year-old, 4-year-old, 8-year-old, and a 9-year-old. So, with the smaller ones, with the baby, took forever to go take a nap today. He usually takes a nap about around 10 or 11, and it's just enough time, because usually he just kind of rolls around on the floor while I'm taking care of the 2, 4, and 8-year-old. But today it was difficult. The baby took forever to take a nap. The boys just weren't in the mood to sit down and listen to anything today. They were just so hyper, but it was just driving me crazy because I want to keep this routine, but sometimes, honestly, the routine or the order or the way that I might have an idea of things, how I want to get set up, it just doesn't fit all the time. It's not something that can happen every day, and I'm actually one of those people that I will actually say, because, for instance, in school, they said I had ADD or ADHD, right? So they tried to act as if kids are different or bad or whatever the situation is, because some kids might not be able to sit down for 3-4 hours a day, just getting that sitting down, being still for 2 to 3 hours just trying to learn. A lot of kids don't learn that way. My kids are one of them. They can't just sit down for a long period of time. First of all, my 4-year-old just can't do that for too long. He can sit down and listen, but his attention span is just like, okay, he's ready to move on to the next thing. What else you got for me? I got it. Let's go. He's falling out of his seat because he just can't be still, and he just wants to move around. And I don't want to get in the habit of, okay, well, you got to sit down and I got to teach you this, or you just got to sit down. And if they need to move around, and I'm just learning this as I'm talking right now, and I've known it in the past, but I still try to have this structure, sit down and things like that. It doesn't always work that way. It's not realistic a lot of times for children that are that young. And my 2-year-old, he's on the lazy side, really. He don't even like to go outside and play that much. He will sit down for a while and listen and learn. He will sit down and learn sometimes, but he has his days too where he just wants to be silly or wants to do little things or whatever. But I'm just trying to be patient. This is not something that I was, I have. I'm not just the most patient person. I try to be. I can be patient depending on the situation. But when I feel like people should know better, I don't have much patience for you. Just simple. I don't have that much patience. If I know that you know better, then I expect you to do better. So my patience is small for those who should know better. But and my kids do know better a lot of the times. They know, what they're supposed to be doing, how they're supposed to be doing it. But when they're 2, 4, I have a son that's 8 that has Downs. So a lot of the level that he's on some things, he's on the same level as my 4-year-old is on. Especially with writing, and so every day they practice handwriting and things like that because he's still developing his motor skills and things like that. So so a lot of the things I do with a 2, 4, and 8-year-old. We do it all together. My 9-year-old, I usually have her. She's really good. Probably the one that I don't have to do as much work with because she does a lot of independent work because she knows a little bit more, and I can give her that independent work while I'm working with the younger ones. And when they take a nap, then I can deal with her. Now, the point of this is because these things happen, right? We have these days that everything doesn't go as smoothly. Everything doesn't go the way that we want it to go. It's not working as perfect as we would want it to be. However, it doesn't mean that we're failing or we're just not good or we should just throw in the towel. These days happen. They're frustrating. They're annoying. They're just not going to work as smooth. It's not ideal, and it's not something. One way isn't going to be perfect every day. I mean, at least not for me. Based on what I've noticed, we can't have the same day every single day. It's just not going to work. I mean, things have to change up. My kids, like to do different things. They can't sit down at a table all day and learn. They can for a certain amount of time, but then it's time to get up and do something else. They need to be active. They want to be doing something. It's hard for them to sit down and you just teach them and they're like, I got it, I get it, okay. They can sometimes, but then they want to go to the next step and then actually be interacting, being active in whatever they are learning. That's how they learn. They learn better that way. And that's a good thing. In school sometimes they want to give you medicine so you can sit down and be, be a robot pretty much and just take in all the information. But every kid doesn't learn that way. So what I'm learning is that I can't always have a structured sit down and, go over these things in a, there has to be a different way that I go approach the situation, or I try to teach them, because it's not always you sit down here and me just explaining these things to you all the time. It has to be more interactive. And now I'm learning that, and I'm trying to find out different ways that I can keep them interested, especially with my 4-year-old, because he's so hyper. If by the time, we get to our flashcards, he's falling out the seat. He's just moving around. He just has to be moving. So he's moving so much in the seat that he's literally getting stuck in the seat in ways that shouldn't even be possible. Like, I don't even understand how you're getting stuck in the seat. You know what I'm saying? Just little things like that. Like, what are you doing to cause yourself to get stuck in the seat in a way that you shouldn't? Who even knew your body could get stuck in the seat like that? You see what I'm saying? Like, things like that can drive you crazy because you're trying to get things done and it's not going the way that you plan to go. So then you get down, you get depressed, and you get frustrated, and you think, oh gosh, I can't do it. This is over. But I'm learning that it doesn't have to be done. I just need to figure out a way to recover, to calm down, or to just change the game plan for that day. If my kids are being more active and more energized, then switch it up. But we don't have to sit down and learn like this today. We can go outside and throw a ball and learn that way. Throw a ball and give addition facts as we're throwing the ball around, whatever. I don't know, but something where they're being more active and not feeling like they're just sitting down learning, because they do not work well that way. They do not like that. So all the time, they don't like that all the time or all day. It has to be something more. So I don't really know. I'm just learning. I'm trying to get a better understanding of what we need to be doing, how I need to be doing it. There's a lot to learn with young children, with homeschooling. I just know that I'm not the only one that goes through these things with homeschooling your children. There's a lot of patience that you have that goes into it, a lot of care, a lot of you know, a lot of patience is the key. Patience is the key, and patience is something that I've been working on. It is very, very, very difficult to have patience all the time, but I will say that I'm working on it. But the way that I was feeling today, I was so frustrated. I'm trying to get back into calming down and teaching my children and learning that. And as I'm speaking, I have a kid right now just crying, asking for me, who he's supposed to be taking a nap. But so with that, I'll say shalom.